Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Hello and welcome back. So, in this video we will look at gradient boosting. Now, we have seen that binary trees have high variance and we have improved classification accuracy by bagging and adapt boosting, which is adapt boost is what we have looked at. The way adaptive boosting improves classification is by adaptively reweighting incorrectly classified points in every iteration. We will show that we will try to explain why it actually corresponds to a special case of what we are going to look at, which is gradient boosting, wherein we consider an exponential loss function. So, in this lecture we will look at this more general technique called gradient boosting. It can be used for any loss function, in the sense any differentiable loss function. So, we will consider m data points, training data points, each with n features. Okay, m data points and n features. We will denote the output of the I have said classifier, but we are going to consider only a regression problem. So, we will look at a binary regression tree, which we will say consider a binary regression tree. The output of that regression tree is y hat corresponding to an input x. I have not indicated the subscripts here for every data point. So, we will look at this table here. We are looking at different iterations wherein we are going to successfully update our model, machine learning model f, by learning from residual. So, in this case we consider the input feature xi. So, I runs from 1 through n, corresponding target variable, the ground truth is y subscript I, and we will fit this using a binary regression tree, and we will call that, we will denote that by f1 of xi. So, for every xi the output is f1 of xi, f1 is our model at this point. So, this is our final model at this point, f1 of xi. Then we calculate a residual, which is basically the difference between the ground truth and the output of the regression tree, okay, yi minus f1 of xi. And we take the second iteration, we once again consider the input features for the training data, but then we will fit it not to yi but to rather to the residual, okay. And the model that we use to fit xi to the residual we will call h1 of xi. So, then at this iteration the updated model f2 will be the previous model f1 plus the model that we used to fit the residual, okay, and we denote that final model as f2. And then we once again calculate the residual. So, you can see how this goes. In the third iteration we will once again consider the input features data points xi. We will fit it to f2, we will call this model h2, then we will update our model as f2. So, this is one form of gradient boosting, and this actually corresponds to, we will see that this actually corresponds to using a loss function, a least squares loss function. So, I am just going to, without any subscripts or anything, I am going to just write it as f of x squared, okay, the form of the loss function. So, we will see that, we will see in a few slides that is the case, okay. So, just to bring it in line with how it is usually treated in literature, we will, instead of, in the first iteration we saw that the first iteration we trained, the idea is to train your data using a binary regression tree. Rather, in this case we will initialize the model by considering the mean of a prediction. So, f0 of xi for all xi is nothing but 1 over the number of data points So, it is just the mean of the responses. So, every response is initialized to the mean of the responses in the training data, which is a good it is just a guess in this case, and then we proceed as before. Then we will call that model f0 of xi, the 0th iteration. That is why we start off. So, we start off with the guess, okay, and we say that okay, we will calculate the residuals based on that guess, and then from the first iteration onwards we will fit it to a regression tree and then update our model. Okay, once again calculate the residual, so on and so forth. Okay. So, this is how we will proceed. Now, how do we generalize this? Okay, this is like I mentioned earlier, again I have not done the entire explanation, but I mentioned here this is a special case where your loss function is actually a least squares loss function. So, then how do we generalize it to any loss function? So, we will look at it now. So, we have input features target, we learn initial model is a mean of all the responses, and then what we do is we actually calculate the gradient of the loss function with respect to your guess from the previous iteration, that is gradient of the loss function with respect to the prediction is what we calculate, and that is our target the second iteration. And as usual we update, remember as you see here, you see we have updated using this again the learnt model H1, which we have fit to the gradient of the loss function with respect to the prediction from the previous iteration, and of course we have this hyperparameter nu1. This again we have to do one more optimization. So, in this case I will just write it down, the one more optimization I am talking about is you have to solve this problem. Say you can still use squares, you can use 2m also. This is done using an algorithm called line search, which is a simple algorithm which I will not go through right now. So, you think of it as another optimization you have problem you have to solve in order to estimate this new one. The reason we have to do that, recall, is that we have actually fit xi to the gradient of the loss function with respect to the prediction from the previous iteration. So, you can think of this as a correction that we do to improve the prediction a bit. Okay. So, then once you have done this, then we calculate again the gradient of the loss function with respect to the estimates that we have done and move on to the next iteration, right. So, here it will be xi and then it will be delta L with respect to delta F1, right. I am leaving out all the variables, but we can fill them, and then we will fit an H2, and then we will update F2 as F1 plus nu 2 H2, and we will once again estimate nu 2 using a similar process. Okay, we keep doing this till m iterations, capital M iterations. Let us say the m is determined by cross validation. Very simply put, you have a held out data set which you will test after and find out the accuracy at which you get the best, find out the iteration at which you get the best accuracy. That is one way of doing it. Okay. So, in general cross validation is the best method to estimate capital M. So, this is the way. So, why does this work? So, why are we doing this? And so, just to give you some idea of why it works, you all have seen gradient descent, right, the algorithm for gradient descent. So, let us consider our loss function, any loss function. This is the ground truth, this is the prediction. Remember, we have also said the prediction we can write it as f of some x. X is our training data, f is the ML model. In this case it can be a binary regression tree. Okay. So, if you look at, let us say, a least squares loss function over, right, I equal to 1 to m, we will have yi minus f of xi, okay, squared, we have 1 over 2 m. Okay. Okay, let us, if we treat, and just to just for sake of making it easier to write and also easier to comprehend, I am just going to write yi minus y hat squared, okay, yi hat squared. Okay. Just trying to avoid too many subscripts and superscripts. So, let us, if you consider this loss function, if you consider this as a function of these predictions, okay, explicitly. So, L depends on yi hat, your prediction, and let us say our point, then what we do when we are trying to do this regression problems is that we want to bring yi hat as close to yi as possible. Okay. So, you can think of yi hat as unknown parameters to be estimated. So, given this loss function, and yi hat is a parameter that we want to estimate. So, if you use gradient descent to estimate yi hat given this loss function, how do we do that? We would say yi hat, we update is, the update rule is yi hat minus some learning rate. Okay. So, do not confuse this learning rate with the new one we saw earlier. I am just going to use just to keep things different, just trying to establish some methodology. So, times alpha right. So, there are I equal to 1 to m parameters, right, and if we treat the yi hats, remember yi hats are nothing but your f of xi, okay. And let us say if you are doing this as iterative process, then after every iteration yi hat is updated. How do we update it? By estimating delta L by delta yi hat. And how do we estimate delta L by delta yi hat? We estimate delta L by delta yi hat by fitting it to a machine learning model h of xi, which is what we do. Okay. So, why do we do this? We can say, well, we can just since L is differentiable, we just calculate that. The problem with doing and then directly just keep updating, it does not make sense. The problem with that is, remember that we have a finite training data set. We do not know, we do not have all xi is limited, we do not cover the entire space of xi. So, since the training data is limited, we only have a very small number of points. So, if x, let us say each x has 20 features, okay, and we only have 1000 or 10,000 data points, you think about it, right. So, we will not be spanning the entire space. So, in fact, if you can think of it in 3 dimensions also, it will be very easy for you to see that there won't be enough, there are not enough points. So, we have a finite number of turning points, and we are trying to kind of, let us say, regularize this gradient by fitting it to a machine learning model h of xi. So, once we estimate the gradient, then you update the parameter, right, that is exactly what we did. Instead, here for estimating the gradient, we are actually fitting it to a machine learning model h of xi. So, this is where this you can think of it this way, and this is where gradient boosting comes from. Okay. So, to summarize, we start off with an initial guess, and at every iteration we would update your initial guess by fitting h m to the gradient of the loss function with respect to the estimates, your predictions from the previous iteration, and then also figuring out this hyperparameter to get a better estimate, because remember you are fitting to a gradient. So, then if you once you fit to the gradient, then you to take that machine learning model, have a multiplicative factor here and try to estimate that factor. So, you can think of it also as doing a linear combination of multiple machine learning models. In most of the cases, it is just a linear combination of multiple regression trees or decision trees. Okay. Now, it was also observed that, see, because if you do that in very quickly in a many maybe in a few iterations, you will tend to start to overfit. This can happen. So, in order to improve convergence and also not to overfit, a learning rate is typically introduced, this alpha. Okay, this is between 0 and 1. Okay, I think 0.1 to 0.3 or something of that sort is what you have to set in order to get better convergence. So, this is called shrinkage or learning rate that you typically use. So, you will estimate mu, but you will figure out alpha like a hyperparameter. Okay. So, this is the general process for gradient boosting. So, let us see, if we consider, let us say a non least square model. So, in this case an absolute deviation. So, y minus f of x. So, I am going to leave out the summation and all that, just make it a little bit clear, and this is your loss function. Okay. And if you want to take the derivative with respect to f of x, view that as an exercise, you will get sine of that. Okay, that's it. So, then you fit for the second iteration, you start fixing, you start fitting your machine learning models to the sine. So, your feature would be the same, the input features and the data points. The target would be either plus or minus. So, plus 1 or minus 1 would be a target. That is how you fit to your machine learning model. And then of course, you update your model. Okay. You can also use a learning rate to improve convergence. Then so if you consider your y minus f of x squared, this is your loss function, you can calculate delta L by delta of f of x is nothing but, so if you get a negative of that, is nothing but y minus f of x. So, if you have a factor of 2 here, that 2 will go away. Okay. This is nothing but your residual, remember that. Okay. So, we also saw that AdaBoost, remember AdaBoost. So, AdaBoost corresponds to e raised to minus YF, this is the loss function for AdaBoost. So, you can actually derive the update equations for AdaBoost starting from this loss function. Okay. So, that is one way of doing it. Okay. So, you can see that for a variety of loss, there is also something called Huber loss, which you have not covered, but you can look that up. Once again, you can use Huber loss also as a loss function and do it. So, remember that I told you, we will go through this slide shortly, that we are actually doing this using binary decision trees, right. So, but remember that throwing the decision tree as its own not binary decision tree, but binary regression tree. So, if you use binary decision trees, there could be again we will see that we can use the same procedure for there also. Okay. So, do not get you are saying okay, this only works for regression, but it will work for pretty much even for problems where we are doing classification. I will just mention that briefly when we go towards the end. So, let us look at the algorithm and summary. So, we initialize to f naught, which is a mean response of your training data. You take that, and for every xi, that is the output. Okay, that is your initialization. And for subsequent iteration, you calculate the gradient of the loss function with respect to the values from the previous iteration, your predicted values from the previous iteration. Fit a machine learning model, which is a binary regression tree, to that gradient. Estimate nu, okay, by solving a line search problem. Update your model. Keep doing that for fixed number of iterations as indicated by your cross validation study, and that is your gradient boosting algorithm. So, algorithms like XGBoost I think, and also now something called light GBM are nothing but gradient boosting machines. Okay, this one just one terminology. They are just basically implementations of this technique. Now, they are of course very efficient implementations. XGBoost, light GBM are very efficient implementations, because they actually fit a binary regression tree effectively, and there are a lot of parameters that you can put in to fine tune that. Okay, it gives you more flexibility for depending on your problem. Okay, but this is a fundamental implementation. You calculate gradient of your loss function. So, you treat your estimated parameters or your estimated output, sorry I never say parameter, estimated output or a predicted outputs as parameters in your loss function, and you are doing gradient descent to estimate those parameters or your predicted output. Okay. So, that is the idea behind all gradient boosting algorithms. There is a fundamental idea behind all gradient boosting algorithms. Okay. So, in summary, so it can be used for classification algorithms also. We have seen it now for regression, but it can also be used for classification. So, when you are doing classification, you use a logistic function. Okay, there is a way to do that. The paper I mentioned in the beginning of the lecture actually describes how to do that if you use a logistic function, for classification problems, or output of softmax functions for multi-class classification. Okay. So, remember that when you are doing it this way, then then you will be actually, instead of the output is just the probability value rather than the class itself, you will be working with the probabilities as real numbers, and then you try to move the probabilities closer to 1 in this, let us say, that is what we would like to do. Okay. As I mentioned earlier, XGBoost, light GBM or the implementations of boosting algorithm with many hyperparameters that help you tune it for a particular problem. Okay. And they are tuned for optimum performance. Okay. Thank you.